Hey, good morning everyone. So, I'm going to go ahead and read my entire book series right here, right now, one go. No music involved, just me, you, and my beautiful voice. The Whales Have Landed, The Tale of My Totem Spirits, Book 1. By Jairam Uzcategui. Dedication. This book is dedicated to all the dormant spirit animals within us all. May you read this and begin to awaken those spirits. Through their guidance, may we begin to heal Mother Earth and ourselves. Page 1. His jet black fur silently brushed against Mother. He had been chasing his prey for too long now. Tired and hungry, he knew he had to make the kill soon, or risk giving up and dying of hunger. Yet, he hated killing other brothers and sisters of the animal kingdom to sustain himself. This is how he ended up the lone wolf. Now he was packless and still chasing blood. He howled at the predicament the Great Spirit had bestowed upon him. His lack of the cold-blooded killer nature of the wolf dynasty was slowly becoming his own undoing. Yet he was content. He rose and relaxed himself, stretching his starving and achy limbs. He accepted that he would die today. He slowly lumbered away from the prey he had been hunting. He went deep within the forest, deep inside Mother. It was here in these moments that he came across the totem. The lone wolf examined and studied the odd hairless tree. On it were carvings of 9 brothers and sisters of the animal kingdom. The aura in the forest was highly elevated. This was the doing of the Great Spirit. Page 7. Another test or message of some sort. He howled at the skies, calling Great Spirit to come and explain this odd tree. His body quivered in pain. He chose to rest at the base of the totem. As he closed his eyes, his third eye opened, and there before him stood Great Spirit. He bowed his crown chakra and listened. "Oh, Brother Wolf, you have been alone all your life. This is your final resting place, but your journey is just beginning. You and I are one and the same. Here resides your spirit totem. You will now journey forward as a member of the Horse Dynasty. You will charge into the east. You will learn all you can there. Once you are ready, you will transition into the dynasty of the Whales. You must share all your knowledge of the East with the Whales. They will store it for millions of years. Next, you will become one of the many constituents of the Ant Dynasty. Trillions of you will work together to create mountains. Work patiently and create mountains that will not blow away in the winds of time. After that, you will become part of the Turtle Dynasty. Learn to float above and below the sea. Learn when to come in and out of your shell. The sooner you learn the lessons of these spirits, the sooner you can be of true service to me, and I can truly help you." Wolf snarled, "Why me? I didn't ask for any of this. Simply give me back my bloodlust and allow me to be a normal member of the wolf pack." Great Spirit bellowed back, "No! You and I are one and the same. I am your soul. I am what powers you and moves you. Together we must join the spiritual battle that is ever present in the moment. This is both our destiny and fate. Someday you and I will combine as one, as a human being, a leader of leaders. He or she will go through his or her own journey. I do not know if or when he or she will become aware that we are within them. We must do the work now so that in the future he or she may receive the message. Even if they hear the message, there is no guarantee they will choose to follow this path." Wolf responded, "Great Spirit, you make no sense. This is all nonsense. If we are one and the same, why do I look up to you and you look down at me? And if what you say is true, why wouldn't a leader of leaders follow the path, our path?" Great Spirit sighed. For the same reason that I ask you, for the same reason that you ask me to give you back your bloodlust, we are one and the same because I cannot give that to you. It is something you have lost because you have found this totem. Now, if you seek to see the world through my eyes, I will allow it. Wolf's eyes opened and he was looking down at himself. He suddenly felt strange feelings, emotions. He felt many new sensations and had all the realizations of the universe and all the potential questions and answers. It was all a bit too much too soon. Great Spirit, return me to my body, cried Wolf. Great Spirit gave his ultimatum. If I do that, you will not rise again. I hope you are ready to begin your journey to the east. Charge forward boldly and proudly. What you learn over there could very well be the key to saving many years in the future, when we become one. Wolf took a deep breath and listened, finally replying, Though I have many questions and fear within, I am ready. Thank you, Great Spirit. We're going to go right into book number 2, The Journey of Windhorse. Horse awoke with a start. He had just had the most bizarre dream. He peered around his surroundings. He couldn't recall anything. He looked up through the hole in the roof. Brother Moon glared down. You have one spirit point left. What would you like your new body to do? Declared Brother Moon. Horse stood still like his wolf brothers and sisters had taught him when on the prowl. Hello, wake the hell up! Horse leapt and began to run. Brother Moon, grant this boon, that I can become the fastest, longest running creature. Allow the wind to be my anchor. The sun began to rise from the east. Windhorse glided across Mother. Thunder and lightning sizzling and booming in his wake. Suddenly he had recalled. Yes, it was no dream. He would now travel across the lands of the west, across the Atlanticus, and into the eastern sun. If we could ask Windhorse, he would not be able to truly tell us why he knew the east held the key. He just moved. Thus the journey of Windhorse began. Across the west, deep within the center of the Atlanticus, floated Atlantis. Along her shores floated a fleet of boats that would make Noah's Ark appear like the native man's canoe. It was here I stood. My ship, Earth, was a real thing of beauty. She could go anywhere and be anything, and was super, super dependable. But it doesn't matter. No, I'm not quite sure what matters anymore. Allow me a moment to collect myself and explain. There we were, Atlantis' most elite fleet of boats, with 20% of Atlantis' population on board. I captained Earth, and we had just began our journey back home, when I suddenly felt the strangest sensation. My shirt appeared to be tugging me. When I looked around, I found my nephew floating away. He appeared startled as any child would during rapture. I quickly grabbed hold of his tiny hand. He latched on and cried, "What's going on? Uncle, please, help me. I'm scared." I felt my feet weighing me down. I was about to lose my nephew to the universe. Listen, Karma. Find your brother Dharma when you land. Until you land, I want you to close your eyes. As soon as you land, look up and open them. I will be shining the brightest star you see. Trust me, young one. You have and are everything you will ever need on this journey you are about to partake in. Do not be afraid. Be well. Never dwell. I will always be in the breath. And with that, I let go. Our eyes did not let go until he was just a small wisp in the sky. Then he closed them. Windhorse galloped across the ocean, pondering what these massive wooden blocks could possibly be. What he did not realize is that his speed and mission was creating a butterfly effect within the planet's timeline. Windhorse's movement upon the water and his hooves of thunder and lightning had created a disruption in time and space, starting the rapture. Book number 3. Windhorse drank slowly at the river. The tiny whales in his dreams had suddenly appeared beside him, and were oh so excited. He marveled at the energy such tiny creatures had. Go ahead and let go of that old body. Release the prana elegance in this next out-breath, and we will transport the energy into our most suitable vessel. Windhorse didn't like where things were going. He could not imagine not breathing and moving as quick as the wind. The water appeared so slow and boring. Yo, let's go! One of the whales had suddenly taken the voice of Brother Moon, who gave the good boons. I'm not sure what great spirit thought in you exactly, but you dwell a little too much. Trust us. We will give you a better vessel than that horse body, and a far superior set of powers that make your lame boon appear far too slow. Windhorse became hoarse and collapsed into the river Ganga. The water swirled, bubbled, and burped. Horse's mind became one with the ocean, and he could hear Brother Moon. There are 8 whales you may choose from, quickly. Horse's mind swirled through all the bodies and questioned, what will happen to the rest? Well, since they can't pass your test, we trash them. Nay, combine all 8 and allow me to be Giga Whale. Brother Moon rolled his eyes and vanished. Horse had become Giga Whale. He nearly did not fit in the reality and gravity of the time, so the planet simply produced more water and space. Waves crashed and folded. Finally, Giga Whale could fit in the sea. Brother Moon had been correct, Giga Whale thought, as his thoughts echoed back and through the ocean exponentially. He no longer needed to move, simply sing his truth. But for a split second, he feared, and this fear also created a deep shift deep below the surface, just above the core of the planet. Things, of course, would never be the same. Back above the surface I stood on Earth, with all those that remained of Atlantis. Approximately 80% of my people were swept away yesterday. Of the remaining 20%, only 5% were comfortable not sinking with Atlantis. Because with not enough people walking amongst her shores, she eventually began to sink, moments ago. Yes, I see them sinking and waving, and I'm not sure if I have tears of sadness or tears of laughter right now. The remaining population that's on Earth with me are some of the finest beings of my people. It was really just the morbidly, apparently greedy aristocrats who I'm waving to. Life can't just be fun, sure, but I'm with some of the most attractive, intelligent, brutally honest beings on Earth. My boat. In an ocean that apparently just got much bigger. I will not rest until I get to the bottom of this. Until I see my nephew again and uncut his umbilical cord. Until then, I will not rest till I've asked every last creature, beast, or being what's going on. For I am asking as king. Book number 4, The Ants of Freedom Mountain. Giga Whale finally stopped singing and opened his eyes after prying the sand and mud off of them. The sun baked his skin. The air was hot. He couldn't breathe. Great Spirit, help me! I'm dying and feel failing us. Do not worry. You awaken just in time to meet your next vessel. Ant will now eat the very flesh and blood of us. Great Spirit cackled a little too insanely. Horse and wolf both force Giga Whale to breathe. Though I have fear within, I am ready. Ant emerged from the sand. Several ants. They surrounded Whale, analyzing, calculating. Each ant was tasked with bringing parts of Whale across the planet to be planted and watered into religions and sciences across the globe that would later become pillars of the modern world. Ant 11 and Ant 34 both brought the most prized bits back to where our journey began, far in the west. Here, they buried their jewels and set about creating mountains. I quickly learned that this was the doing of one great spirit. I have reincarnated manyfold, chasing this fiend. This beast is set to emerge amongst the lands of the West. I have placed my finest minions of my opinion across these lands. They await my orders. I will not back down. I don't care for the truth or anything anymore. Just revenge. I will soak the world with the evil creature's blood. At all costs, I will emerge victorious. Clearly, the king had become delusional after many lives asking many beings and creatures. Just the other day, I was drifting amongst the sands and found a ginormous whale creature being absolutely torn apart by these odd creatures. They all grabbed a chunk and dispersed back into the ground. Luckily, I caught the trail of two foolish ones. I will follow the trail and set traps. I have very good feelings about this. But it wouldn't be so. The ants moved quicker than the king, and by the time he arrived, had already built too many mountains for the king to ever have enough time and energy to search for. The king sat beside himself with rage for many years, until one day a light emerged from both mountains. His old wrinkly skin rippled in the wind as his old tired mule slowly trudged along to the nearest mountain, only to find an apple tree with a sign of some sort from Great Spirit saying, "Wrong light." This mountain was the mountain of free creative expression. The final vessel would be at the other mountain, the mountain of freedom. The king clenched his jaw, bit the apple, and jumped up and down several times too many on the apple after spiking it on the floor. He sighed and got back on his mule, pulled a 180, and began moving towards the light. All the ants who had originally been a part of dismembering the Giga Whale had arrived to see the new vessel that would become the symbol of freedom. They didn't have to wait too long. They saw Turtle slowly waddling up and across the base of the mountain. The ants could see one very angry king stomping a few times too many. They frowned. This was going to be tight. Turtle was lazy, tired, and annoyed. Ever since last night, Brother Moon would not stop demanding Turtle be at Freedom Mountain 8 a.m. sharp. Turtle woke up extra slow that morning until Brother Moon whispered directly into his ear, "Hello, wake the hell up!" Turtle nearly pooped inside his shell. "Fine, say no more, bro." With that, Turtle set off towards Freedom Mountain. I gotta go get the final book. But yeah, a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Florida my entire life, and I grew up with a Vedic understanding of life. And on top of that, when I was 13, my father committed suicide. So for the last 8 or so years, I've been studying relentlessly about life and reality and everything that goes all around in my day, me, dia. Just gotta get the book real quick. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go right into it. Nice. This is about 20 minutes and 20 seconds into the video. Everything is in perfect timing, everybody. The whales have landed. Final book, number 5. The ants had gathered at the base, the ants had gathered at the root of Freedom Mountain within the inner web, where light and darkness become blurred, good and evil intermingle, and emptiness becomes fullness. Turtle was nearly there. He had rarely ever stayed outside his shell for this long. His mind was blanking. He paused. What was the purpose of all this again? Wolf, horse, and whale all bellowed from within. You fool, move! Turt jolted forward. My stupid, slow, lame mule has proven of no use to me at the final hurdle. I have had to walk from the base to the root of Freedom Mountain. I can now see the light and those crawling creatures that ate that big whale. I'll hide behind the shadows and pounce once the vessel arrives. Ant turned and led Turtle to the location of the light. Turtle, tired and still lazy, decided to rest at the root. His breathing slowed and his entire being relaxed. I saw the little shelled creature arrive and have begun my slow prowl. Finally, after all these lifetimes, I will now taste my sweet revenge. The former leader of the ship Earth and self-proclaimed king reached the turtle just as Turtle opened his eyes. They locked eye contact. Recognition dawned in their eyes. I reached out to the turtle and my hand touched his head, and we began to emerge as one. Suddenly I understood. I had been foolish to believe this tale was ever about me. It was always about them, the animals, who all get along and stay interconnected. Their energy is passed amongst all animals. I am just one of many. But simply by asking, I began this journey. I returned to Freedom Mountain with the apple tree from the mountain of free creative expression. It is here upon Freedom Mountain that I placed my totem pole. For I always had the ability to creatively express. I had simply denied myself the freedom by asking instead of being. Life is a balance of pushing and pulling. Take time to rekindle your relations with Great Spirit and all of Mother's children here on planet Earth. The end.